Hey everyone, welcome to our live stream today. My name's Ryan. We're going to be having a little conversation here. I'm going to give a few minutes for some folks to join. So if you're just joining us, this is our pre-AZ Gives Day live stream. We're going to be having a short discussion today. Hey Ashley, thanks for joining. I see your comment there. We're going to be joined by Yolande here momentarily. Going to be just having a nice little conversation talking about sustainability and data and what the present state is and what the future looks like. So we'll just give it another minute or so. Welcome to those just joining. Welcome, welcome. We're gonna get started in a few minutes. Okay, welcome Yolande. Hey. I'm gonna send you a request to add you in here and we'll see if Facebook's magic can work. Hello.
Hey.
I see your video. Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can. It seems a little bit delayed, but I think it's okay.
Cool.
Well, we're gonna go ahead and get started. What's that, Yolande?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, there we go. Okay, I think I'm having a little bit delay on my end, but we're gonna get the show started here. So, welcome everyone. Thanks for joining. My name's Ryan. I'm co-founder and operations director of GreenLight Solutions Foundation. It's been an honor to be a part of this organization's journey for the last 8 years or so, and I'm really excited about this conversation today with Yolande and about the future of GreenLight and where we're heading. So, for those who don't know, for those who may be new, GreenLight is a 501c3 educational nonprofit based here in Arizona. We partner students and professionals to work together on sustainability projects and make a difference in the business community. Our mission is to educate and empower students and business leaders to collaborate on sustainability initiatives that create a positive social, environmental, and economic change. Our organization started as a grassroots movement in 2013 at ASU in January 2013. And since then, we've partnered over 300 students with more than 44 local businesses. We've completed over 55 sustainability projects, and we've donated more than 30,000 volunteer hours in the community, helping to move the needle on sustainability with local businesses. So super proud of that accomplishment, and we know we have a lot more work to do together. Please check out our website, glsolutions.org. glsolutions.org. And I personally support GreenLight because I truly believe in the impact we're having on students and helping to mold them into capable professionals to have the mindset and the experience to do the work that needs to be done in the world. And the impact and the changes that we have in the business world has just proven to help move the needle and to help accomplish the sustainable development goals and that business's own sustainable metrics and goals. So again, it's an honor to be here. And AZ Gives Day, quick background on that. It's a collaboration between the Alliance of Arizona Nonprofits and the Arizona Grant Makers that began in 2013. It's helped raise more than $23 million for Arizona's nonprofit sector, which is huge. And giving is available all 365 days around the year. But the online giving campaign takes place the first Tuesday in April each year, which is tomorrow. So if you haven't already pre-scheduled your donation, we invite you to pre-schedule today or donate tomorrow during the campaign. Our campaign goal this year is to raise $3,000, and we are super excited and honored to share that that's going to be matched by InfoSol. So thank you, InfoSol, for providing the matching gift. And that means that any dollar that you donate, $5 becomes $10, your $100 becomes $200. So we encourage you to give and tell your friends to give and support our sustainability projects. So as I mentioned, every dollar that you donate, InfoSol will match and help to double your impact. I invite you to go to InfoSol's website. It's infosol.com. I think someone's going to drop it in the chat there, and go check out their work. Not only is InfoSol giving their financial support, but they're also inviting GreenLight to speak at an upcoming conference of theirs, as well as partnering with us on some data dashboards for our own internal operations and for our project partners, which is going to be super exciting and help move the needle on our projects even more. Current status of our campaign, we've raised $1,168 so far, which is just about 40% of our goal. Yes, awesome. This is really good pre-scheduled donation. So thank you everyone who's donated so far. If you have not gotten your donation in, there's still time. And you can support our mission by going to our AZ Gives campaign. You can click the link in our Instagram bio, or a link will be dropped in the chat. So we're asking our community of supporters to show their support for GreenLight and propel our sustainability initiatives further than ever before. Your donations go directly to supporting our sustainability projects and our educational student programs. I invite you to check out our website, glsolutions.org, to see a full list of our projects, both current and our past project portfolio. So we're going to get into our panel, which is the wonderful Yolande Grill. She is the COO of InfoSol, and InfoSol is also our matching gift sponsor. Yolande is a good friend of mine and has been a mentor for years. I'm very grateful for our connection and for everything that you bring into not only my life, but also the mentorship of GreenLight, of the other folks on our board, and all the support that you give. So thank you. In addition to data and measuring what matters, Yolande is passionate about creating a more peaceful and mindful world. So I'll just invite Yolande to say hello and say a few words about yourself, please.
Well, hello. Thank you, Ryan, for giving us this opportunity to support you. We are so excited. So you said $5 becomes 10, 100 becomes 200. Hey, y'all, 1,000 becomes 2,000. So we've got $3,000 to match. So why not take advantage of it? And I totally believe in your mission. You know that, Ryan. I've been following you for many years, and I think it's amazing what you guys are doing for the world, and I would love to see you multiply, multiply, multiply.
Thank you. Thank you. And so we're just going to get started with a few short questions. So can you just tell us what InfoSol does? Why do you exist?
Why do we exist? So I have a personal internal mission as the COO, and that is to create workplaces that are worthy of our children. But that is not our mission big time. So InfoSol is a business intelligence solutions company. We help people work with their data. We help them measure what counts. And we have been doing this since 1997. Before it was even called business intelligence, it used to be called decision support systems. It's something we absolutely love. And what we've seen over the years is that companies that start measuring something can actually move the needle on the things that are important to them. So we exist, and our mission is to create business intelligence solutions that make a difference in people's lives. So we work with for-profit, not-for-profit, public sector, Fortune 50, just a wide range of companies to make sure that, you know, we can take their data and make it more into actionable information, and make people aware of things that can help them change what they want to change.
Awesome. Definitely a much needed mission in the world. So thank you. Sort of spinning off of that, can you talk about how data is important in sustainability and how it's important in order to move the needle on sustainable development?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you don't know what you don't know, it's like that Winnie the Pooh saying is like, do you know where you're going? Well, if you don't know where you're going, how are you going to know if you got there, kind of thing. So unless you really start figuring out what it is you want to achieve. So Let me just back up a little bit. So in business intelligence, we measure things that happened in the past, things that are happening right now. With predictive analytics, we can measure things that could happen in the future. But my favorite question of all is, what do we want to have happen here? So when you ask that question and you decide on an outcome and you start measuring for that outcome, you become kind of a force for good just by virtue of wanting to see that needle move. And it just shines a light on something that you may or may not be aware of. And it's kind of like, imagine in a factory, you know, they're always looking for performance, like output and things like that. But what if you started measuring for, you know, something that is intangible, like maybe employee happiness? And you've heard about this from a lot of people that talk about there's something as a GDP, but then there's also like a happiness index, or there's other things to measure. So we're always measuring money. Like historically, companies measure their performance in money, but they may not be measuring other performance. So for us, for example, I could just talk about our company internally. When we started the, you know, the, what do you call it? The carbon footprint dashboard, we didn't think much would come of it. But even if somebody looks at it and says, okay, we're going to just turn off the lights, just one tiny little action, over time, what we see is tiny little actions become, they add up, but they become more important. And we don't tell people what to do in our company. So we have a base camp, and basically you volunteer to how you're going to move your own needle. And I saw that you had a dashboard of your, or you just had an infographic of the sustainability goals from the UN. And you showed how even GreenLight Solutions projects have contributed to those different things. Now imagine if your goal started being set to say, we want to have that number become 10. As people, like people who are in the company, people who are friends of the company, people from the outside world start looking at that data, there's a momentum that happens when you see that number change. And that create just over time some fantastic results. We have a company that we did a dashboard for. It was a manufacturing company. And this is like my agenda for peace, right? So instead of a manager coming down on the shift that was the worst performing, what happened is the shift started noticing that their numbers were less than, and they got together and they decided, we're not going to get beat by the shift that's ahead of us. And so they just got their act together and they started looking at their production, at their safety records, and decided to make a change. And when people are inspired like that, it's a lot better than being motivated by management or something from outside of
them. Definitely. Yeah, that intrinsic internal motivation.
Right.
You mentioned the sustainable development goals, and I love that because our projects really started to have such a deeper impact when we started measuring with the sustainable development goals. And you know, there's the old, you know, almost cliche saying of think global, act local. The global goals are global, but our projects are often hyper local. And I think a big part about, you know, the work that we do is teaching students and our partners that any impact you have in the local area does contribute to the larger play. You know, we are all interconnected, and anything you do locally will eventually have an impact globally. And I want to ask a question about the SDGs, about different ways that data can be leveraged globally to help accomplish the UN Sustainable Development Goals. Do you have any experience or insights into that?
Yes. Okay. So let me tell you a little story. I was at a conference for data visualization, and there was a lady there from World Wildlife Fund, and she was showing some data about the TX2 project, which is to double the population of tigers in the world by the year 2020. And it was fantastic, but it was very static data. And I met her at lunch and I said, hey, can I help you? And we became friends, and she allowed InfoSol to create some dashboards for them. So in the beginning, we were just counting exactly what she wanted to count. But what ended up happening, the dashboards were so attractive and so accessible by people who are not into data, because now you're all of a sudden looking at pictures that are worth 1,000 words, and they're beautiful. And they're looking at a map, and people who are in government started seeing them. And the same thing happened that I told you about that shift in that one company, where they're like, oh my gosh, they're beating us. We really need to get our act together. And so now all of a sudden you have political leaders, you have other people who are like donors who are able to support the cause even more. So you can have more engagement, but the thing that it drives the most is that intrinsic feeling that that is accomplished by this other person, and I want to be just as good. And so the person within themselves starts doing it. And this can be, like I said, a human, but it could also be a leader of a country where they can actually have the impact and the influence in their own ecosystem to make that kind of change. So globally, we saw a response when one country saw that they were falling behind another country's data as far as doubling, and they're on track to double the population of tigers. So that's very exciting news.
That's excellent to hear. I was just talking about tigers earlier this morning and the amount of tigers in captivity in America versus wild in the world. So I'm glad that the wild tigers are back on the right track.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing when you have data,
yeah.
how if you visualize it the right way, it can actually touch people that normally would turn off if they saw a spreadsheet. That's the beauty of being able to apply some intelligence to the actual ones and zeros.
Yeah, I'm reminded of a quote. I only remember part of it, but it's essentially turning numbers into narrative, right? Telling that story through data in a way that captures people. I know I'm a very visual learner, so I'm a huge fan of maps that show impact or geographic heat maps of whatever, is being measured. But that's a really good way for people to digest information, especially in, the TikTok era, if you will, where people just want to have short information real quick at their fingertips, right at their eyeballs, that tells a story that they understand and that they can connect with in a certain way.
That's cool. I'm a kinesthetic learner, so I need to move the dials. I need to see what if analysis. I need to see if I did this, what would happen. So yeah, it gives something to everyone as far as like being a good tool.
Awesome. You sort of just touched on it, but I want to ask if you have any other clients who have notable sustainability efforts or any anecdotal stories that you feel inspired to share from your work at InfoSol.
Yes. Okay, so I could tell you, like a lot of times, well, Paul is the CEO of InfoSol, and sometimes he'll be on a business trip, not in the last year, but before that, he would come back, and the inspiration we get from our clients is absolutely fantastic because some of these business intelligence solutions that we collaborate with them on are amazing. I can give you a couple of examples. So there's a company that is probably the largest fleet management company. So they take care of cars, trucks, and for like really, really large accounts. And they have predictive dashboards that could tell them when a truck is going to break down ahead of time so that they could do maintenance before they actually get to that point of breakdown where the repair would be even more costly. And it could, it would just be like prevention is, I don't know what they say, prevention is worth something. I'm really bad at quotes too. So that's one. There's another company that is doing a CO2 footprint, and they're showing it's Future Metrics is the name of the company. And their dashboard is live. I could put the link in the comments after the live is posted. But they are showing the benefit of using wood pellets, again, instead of coal to be able to move the needle. And they're measuring this and they're measuring things real time. And that gets more engagement because it involves their customers looking at that and signing up for it and everything. 20 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to answer the question in the positive because people were kind of asleep in a little bit. But now every single one of our clients has some sort of sustainability initiative going on. And these are giant companies that literally can change the world with just them doing it. And if we could just tweak it a little bit, show them just one tiny thing, show them how it fits in the bigger dashboard of global. It's amazing, and we're inspired by them all the time.
That's great. You read my mind with the next thought, which was, can you talk a little bit about the trend in sustainability in the marketplace from a data perspective and how that has changed in the last 20 years? It sounds like it's gone from something that used to be anecdotal to something that's almost, a necessary component of a business's analytics. What have you seen in your work as far as that trend in the last 2 decades?
So I could tell you, I follow this stuff because I love it. But anybody who follows Ben and Jerry, you could see what their sustainability things are. Anybody who follows Levi's, they even have it down to what it costs for them to produce a pair of jeans and how to keep those jeans out of the landfill. So even like every single company, if you search for them, you will see that they have some sort of, and it's gone beyond, okay, so they have some sort of sustainability initiative, and it's gone beyond just that donation, just that social responsibility thing where they go, okay, we'll just give a little bit of money to somebody else. They're actually within themselves trying to change. And the trend is really, really positive, like from safety dashboards at oil and gas companies to make sure spills don't happen, to, like I said, the being able to use, you know, the Internet of Things and just telematics to get information into the right hands of the right people. Okay, like in this one company, they actually have a dashboard where they can calculate the closest shop that is available to do the repair so that the person isn't driving too far to get to another shop because they happen to be in the neighborhood. Like that's, you know, on a small scale, even if one person did that, like when they ran their errands, they ran 2 errands in a row. But imagine a company that services globally the world, and they have customers all over the world doing that with an entire fleet of, you know, transportation companies and other companies. So I don't remember what the question was, but I hope I answered it.
Yeah, no, yeah, you did. It was about trends and how companies have been adopting sustainability in the marketplace. Thanks for those insights. Well, Yolande, I want to just invite you to share any closing remarks or anything that's top of mind. It could be about GreenLight, about your work, about whatever's, you know, whatever animals you're seeing outside in your yard today. Share something to wrap
Well,
us
the
up.
Bobcat did not come during the live, or I would have turned my phone around just to get everybody excited. Okay, so you know how much I love you. I want everybody to show you how much you are loved by donating. So I really hope people will just take advantage of our matching fund. It's a big stretch for GreenLight, and it's a big stretch for us to be able to just do this and push on the one day. Closing thoughts. You know, there was one time I went to a workshop and I was feeling really bad about myself because I was using the wrong shampoo. And I really had to think about my hair. I know it sounds funny. And I remember it was Greg Peterson. He was doing a workshop in Phoenix. He's from Urban Farm. And he said to me, he said, you don't have to be perfect in everything. Just do one thing and do another thing. And when that becomes a habit, do just one more thing. And the shampoo could be the last thing you give up, you know? And right now with the products that are available, like you don't have to really go out and look too much to get good shampoo. But at the time, and it was years ago, and I've just adopted that even internally. And so anybody watching, yes, give money, but also do something that is sustainable, do some volunteer work that will, you know, speak to your heart. And if this is really about community and making sure that we have a planet for our children, like truly that's what it's about. We probably have enough resources in our lifetime, but I'm a grandma now, and I really want to make sure there's resources for her children. So I will leave you with that.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Words of wisdom. Well, you heard it, folks. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Again, you can donate on our AZ Gives fundraiser page. The link is found in the chat here. It's found on our Facebook event. It's found many, many places. So whether you're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, please donate and share with your friends. And just know that your donation is supporting really important local sustainability work here in the Phoenix metro area. Yolande, InfoSol, thank you both so much. And we hope to continue the conversation in the chat. And yeah, thank you all for joining. We'll see you next time.
Bye.